Well, among the groups that are going to be most concerned about watching this 2016 budget are the trade unions, and among them, in particular, the South African Clothing and Textile Workers Union, SACTWU. And I have in the studio with me today the Provincial Secretary in the Western Cape, one of the main garment and textile areas, still is, I think, Sheila van Rensburg. Hello, Sheila.
Hi, good day, Terry.
So,
Bit nervous being here, but yeah.
You don't have to be nervous. Just tell us about it. I mean, the point is, I'm correct in saying that we're still the main area for textile and, well, not so much textiles, but garments in the country.
That is correct. Clothing and textile is still playing quite a important role in contributing to the economy. There is still a lot of workers and people out there that is in need of jobs. And our sector, in terms of sectors, which is leather as well, is very labor intensive. And there can be a lot of opportunities.
But you've lost tens of thousands of jobs in the last years.
We did. We've lost quite a number of jobs, thousands of jobs in the past. I must be honest to say to you, for the last 3 years, our industry has sustained a bit. Our biggest concern is, particularly this year, with what is happening to the currency, which will definitely have a negative effect on our industry insofar as, exporting.
But
so
why?
which
Because
means
it's cheaper now, isn't it? Our labour is now cheaper than it was
correct.
a year ago.
Correct. And we're already seeing some signs of short time companies that is now wanting
But why
to
is that? Isn't that a contradiction? I mean, shouldn't we be now cheaper, for example, even than perhaps China or Taiwan, and therefore there's a glut in the market, but we should be able to undercut them because our rand is so cheap?
Terry, it's true what you are saying, but you need to understand also the dynamics within the industry in itself. Our industry hasn't really sort of positioned itself, in terms of exporting. So we're still very dependable on the local market. And if our retailers is not coming to the party, it does create and put a lot of pressure in terms of the employment within our sector.
So how would you like to see the budget change that?
Look, there is a lot of changes that can still be made in terms of, sustaining jobs. To minimize the effect of job losses. So we would like to see more being done. In particularly, if government can invest more in our sectors, if there can be, say, more control measures in terms of the inflowing and outflowing, in particularly inflowing of imports into our country, which is still a big challenge.
You'd like
for
to have
our
more
sector.
tariff barriers, in other words, or not?
Yes, tariff barriers, but also more controls at the customs side, because we believe more can be done in that area. Because when stuff come into the industry, sometimes they are not properly coded. We have several raids where we get maybe tipped off, and then we would then ask that it be investigated. And then we found out that things is not properly coded, because things would come in where it's maybe clothing, but it has a different code, which obviously affect then the pricing.
So you'd like to see
on that.
the budget do something about that? Try
Correct.
and introduce more policing or give more budget towards policing these things, and
Yes.
also talk in terms of greater protection.
Yes, greater protection would be welcome, but like I said, a lot can be done if government really look in terms of the policing side, especially at the customs.
So tariffs and policing would be your priority.
Correct.
Thank you very much, Sheila.